Hi everybody, it's me Willow and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back with another fun video for all of you guys to enjoy. Today we are going to be reacting to the new full-length trailer for the Masters of the Universe film that is coming out later this summer. It's coming out in June. I'm actually pretty excited about this film because I'm a big fan of the cast. I'm really love Nicholas Galkazine. I've been following him for quite a few years since Handsome Devil, which was one of his first big projects, and then he's kind of been picking up a lot of stuff. He's definitely an Amazon MGM boy. He has Red, White, and Royal Blue, and he has the sequel that's going to be coming out next year in 2027, I believe, because they just wrapped filming. And I'm really excited that he has this new franchise of Masters of the Universe where he's going to be playing He-Man. I do have a video from about, I think it's last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, and it was my prediction for some of the upcoming stars. And I did have Nicholas on that list. So I'll link it down below. I do suggest you guys go check that out because I do think I got quite a few of those stars correct. But I also really like Camila Mendez. I just watched Forbidden Fruit, which had her Riverdale co-star Lily Reinhart in it. And I love to see that Camilla is also kind of branching out from the Riverdale days and she's doing something big like, Masters of the Universe. She's going to be playing one of the most iconic characters. So I'm very, very excited. And let me stop yapping and let's watch this trailer. Okay. I have been seeing a couple like clips floating around. So I've been seeing these costumes. Okay, we've got some CGI animals. See, I'm not really familiar with the He-Man backstory. Never really followed the animated series, the comics, but okay. So he's kind of was pushed out of his universe and put on Earth, I guess. Now he's come back to reclaim it. Interesting. Okay, big battle. Okay, here we go. I understand now. I like this. Ooh, Skeletor looks good. Idris Elba. Okay. The sword. Oh, okay, that's cool with his pupil dilating, the big moment. Yeah. Okay. Okay, nice little peek. Not too much of a reveal. Oh, a full costume reveal. Oh my god, he looks good in this costume. Skeletor looks really good. I really like Skeletor's design. What is Idris doing here? I feel like there's actually a lot of practical makeup and effects used on a lot of these characters. Like there is heavy CGI, obviously, and VFX. Oh, okay. But I wonder if like Skeletor is all motion capture or if part of it is like practical because it kind of does, and some of the other costumes look pretty practical as well. Okay. All right. For in premium formats. Okay. So does that mean it's going to go? It doesn't say IMAX, but it says in premium formats June 5th. All right. Well, I do think this looks pretty promising. I don't love the lighting. There's moments where I really do like it because I feel like it is really saturated, which I appreciate. But then there's moments where it's very dark. And if you know me, my biggest pet peeve is dark films and I can't see stuff. And especially when it is like a visual effects, sometimes it can get really like, all jumbled together, look kind of muddy and dark. And I think it looks pretty good, but I'm just worried about a couple of those like overlooking scenes of He-Man's universe after it's kind of been destroyed by Skeletor. It does look pretty dark, and I'm just worried it might be a little muddy, but they do have, until June to perfect all of the post. And obviously, this is just like a sneak peek with the full length trailer, but I do think it looks pretty good. Like, besides a little bit of the darkness, I do think the saturation and the color is really nice. Like, in the last little part of the trailer, like, I don't love the look of when he's in like the regular world because it's only lit by that like backlight, and I hate that type of lighting. It's like, guys, where is all the light? But then when we're in his universe and he's fighting amongst all those like red trees, I feel like that looks pretty good. So I feel like this could be hit or miss. I'm also wondering if this is going to be a big box office hit just because it is Amazon MGM Studios. I feel like they never do like superb at the box office, but I feel like He-Man Masters of the Universe is a pretty big, recognizable franchise with a lot of fans, dedicated people who are waiting to see this live action retelling. And I do think Nicholas looks pretty damn good as He-Man. I think he looks great in that costume. I think his hair looks pretty well done as well, pretty accurate to the animated version. I don't know much about Camila Mendez's character. She's kind of only there in the side. She's not prominently featured. I actually would say Idris Elba's character is featured way more. I'm gonna have to look up his name. All right, I did my research, so I would be a little bit more informed than just saying, I don't know who these people are. But Idris Elba is going to be playing the character Man at Arms, which is a primary title of Duncan. And he's a character in the Master of the Universe franchise. And his primary role is advising the ruling planetary monarch and the royal guard on military and police affairs. So I guess this makes sense because He Man, from the trailer, again, like, I'm not like super knowledgeable. I guess he was ruling the universe, he was one of the masters of the universe along with his royal family. And then Skeletor comes in and kind of creates a war, and he kidnaps his family, and I'm assuming to, survive and to try and keep the ruling family on. They were able to get He-Man when he was a young child during this moment. He was able to escape on to Earth, and he's been living on Earth as a regular person ever since. And now Shara, is that her name? She-Ra, which is Camila Mendez's character, has come to Earth to take him back to their universe because he's full grown now and he's needed as the master because Skeletor's basically trying to control everything. And we're gonna have Idris Elba as Man at Arms being able to try and like advise He-Man through this like unknown situation because he hasn't been back here since he was a child. So I do think that's a pretty good setup for the film. I do think the trailer lays that out pretty well. I do, again, like I said, I like the looks of the costume. I do feel like there are practical effects being used in this. Okay, I did find an article on MovieWeb from 2025. I don't know if this is like the most like accurate just because it doesn't like go into like a lot of detail, but it does say, there will be plenty of CGI aspects to the characters, but it seems that they're going to be sticking and have done the tried and true test of the practical effects to transform several actors into heroes and villains that fans want to see in the live action movie. And they specifically point out Stephen Edentan's character Mossman, which is the one character I pointed out in the trailer that I thought looked very practical. And it looks like that is true if I pointed out the correct character. But it looks like, they probably did film on a lot of blue and green screens, and there are probably a lot of additional like CGI added. Like, I don't think Skeletor is completely CGI. It also does say it's Jared Leto, so that's another reason why I feel like this movie might do poorly. I didn't realize it was Jared Leto, but he does have a mask on, so maybe that will make people go see it. But unfortunately, Jared Leto is just like a box office trash. Like, he's bomb. Like, people do not go see Jared Leto's movies. Like, Tron, Aries just bombed so badly back in October. It made like no money. And even though it's like a fairly decent film from what I heard, so I just like very, very worried now. Again, he's not the lead. We do have Nicholas Galxine, who just have like a pretty prominent fan base, but I would say his fan base is more like females, like people my age, and this is more of like a young male. Like, I feel like this is like, I would say, He-Man is probably like gender, like who cares like what gender watches this, but I would say it was probably is a little bit more marketed towards the male demographic, and I feel like there was probably more like younger guys, growing up and they watched the animated show and now they're older and they would love to go out and spend their adult money on this type of thing. So I'm just interested to see like who we're marketing this to. I feel like we're marketing this as a big blockbuster summer like kickoff because it's at the first week of June, June 5th. So I do think this is kind of being marketed trying to be like a four quadrant film. But I'll just be interested to see like what the box office return is going to be because I feel like this could be very hit or miss. Unfortunately, just have a pretty interesting cast. Like, there's also Alison Brie, who I thought I recognized. There was like a really tiny clip of her, and I was like, "Is that Alison Brie?" But I wasn't sure because she has like this helmet on. She's playing Evil Lynn, so I guess that's going to be another like villain. We have some other interesting people who's going to be in this as well, but I'm interested to see what happens. I definitely think I'm going to try and go see this film when it comes out just to support Nicholas and Camila because I do like both of them. The director is Travis Knight. So Travis Knight is actually the CEO of the stop motion animation studio Lakia. I think that's how you pronounce it. They've done Kobo and the Two Strings, and then they have their upcoming film Wildwood, which is coming out in October. And I actually have that on one of my box office draws that I'm in. Like, I do fantasy film ball, kind of similar to like fantasy football, and we're doing box office. And one of my drafts is Wildwood. And I wanted an animation film, and I feel like this could be like, who knows? Like, we don't know much about Wildwood, so that actually kind of makes me even more intrigued. He also did Bumblebee, which was a box office smash. It made so much money. He also did Paranorman, which I love. So again, like, I'm kind of on the fence about this film because it does seem like there are a lot of passionate people working on this film. The He-Man Masters of the Universe film has also been in production hell for the last decade, just been passed around from production person to production person, and it finally found its team with Travis and Nicholas and Camila and Amazon MGM. So I am interested to see how this film is going to do. I hope it does fairly well, at least makes back its budget, I hope. I feel like this could be a good first hit for the summer, but I am a little bit worried just like with the Jared Leto factor and just the CGI stuff. I am a little bit worried that I know they did do a lot of on location filming, and it just seemed like some of it is on sets, like some sound stages, but it does seem like they were on a lot of blue and green screens, which does always make me a little worried these days, just because I love the practical. So it just seemed like they are using some practical, but it's like, are they leaning too much on the CGI? Like, I feel like Project Hail Mary, which just came out, is such a great example of really being able to balance the practical and the visual effects. So yeah, definitely really promising. I think the trailer is kind of mixed. I do think, like I said, it's promising, but could be some issues. So let me know what you guys think of the Masters of the Universe official trailer in the comments down below. I'd love to get a conversation started with all of you guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, while you're at it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the post notification button so you don't miss out on any of my content. I also post on all my other social media platforms at Willow D Steele, so you can find me on Letterboxd, Serialized, TikTok, Instagram, the Awards Expert app. I'm on all those social media platforms, so give me some love. I'm so grateful for all of your engagement and support, as it really helps to push me out into the algorithm and helping me other like-minded people in the film community. So thank you so much for helping to grow my channel. I'm just so grateful for all the support. And until my next video, remember to keep getting lost in film, guys. Bye.